episode of Fishtoke Vlog. So for this episode, we're going to talk about how to properly install a food timer. No? So this is basically a handy accessories when it comes to feeding your fish. So I'm going to show you how to assemble and how to use this and install it to your aquarium so that you no longer have to feed manually. So basically, this is just going to be a item review on this food timer. So the brand is Warm Tone Food Timer, WT-180A. So this is a food timer for tropical aquariums, cold water aquariums, no? So any types of aquariums, even for marine aquariums. So this is a battery operated type of food timer, and it can feed flakes and small pellets. Okay. There are basically four major parts for this food timer. Okay, number one is the container of the food, and then the timer itself, right, and the clamp right here, which can be attached to the aquarium, and also these small parts right here, which is very vital because this will set what time we want our food to be fed to our fish, right? So I will explain one by one each one of these parts so that we can start the installation. So first off, I will explain first the food timer. This is the main part of it. So basically, the food timer is just a type of clock right here. So as you can see, there are numbers, right? There are numbers which is indicating to the time, the exact time right now. So if you for example, right now we have, what time is it? I think it's 2 p.m. It's already 2 in the afternoon. So we're going to set it. So you just have to twist this mechanic right here. This will serve as the rotating trigger to set the time. So as we can see here, it's 12 noon, so we just have to set it at 14 because 2 p.m. is 14. Okay, so once you have set the time, okay, so you just have to insert your battery. So this is the battery, and the battery is actually right here. Okay, and we just have to install it. Okay, as you can see there's an indication that the battery is working. So I will explain also that rotating mechanism right there. So once we've installed the battery, we can see right now that the small hands is already rotating. So this will indicate the seconds of a clock, right? Seconds, right, in seconds. So every 1 minute or so, this portion right here will rotate as if it was a clock. It is a clock, right? So it will move from 2. Once it gets from 2 p.m. then it goes clockwise, and it will go on like a normal clock. So once we've set that up, we now need to install or put in this triggering items right here. This is actually the set timer for your food timer. So if you want to start feeding at around 6 a.m. right here, we just need to place it. Okay, place it in right like that. So 6 a.m. so it's going to auto feed at that time. So by the way guys, this mechanism right here, this one is a manual mechanism to allow to feed, right? So if I rotate this counterclockwise, as you can see, it's rotating right here. So by the way, this is where our food storage will be installed. So later I will show you that, but for now, let's just go with the installation of these small parts right here. So for me, I suggest that you put in on an hourly basis. So since this one is 6, so we're going to 7 right here, and so on. So as you can see now, we've installed all of the small triggering item in an hourly basis. So there, so that's 6, 7, 8. So we only have 11 pieces of this, so we only have up until 4 p.m. to feed, right? So that's a 1 hour difference in the feeding schedule. So as this timer goes on, it will actually rotate, and once it rotates, this part right here, it will trigger. As you can see here, there's actually a small portion right here, a small it's like a small trigger right here that will allow it to touch the triggering mechanism of the timer, right? So the trigger is actually inside here. I don't know if I can see that. Okay, right there. That's the triggering mechanics. And once the time is right, for example, it reaches 3 p.m., it will hit that trigger and then allow the timer to set. Now for the container of the food, this is actually a it actually has 3 parts right here: the cover and the container, and there's also this white plastic right here, which is the measurement of how much you want to feed your fish. So as you can see here, there's actually a level, right? There's a level right there of how much you want to feed your fish. So for this one, this will be 0, so no food can go through it right here. And then once we, let's put this back on. So once we put that in a level 1 right there, it opens up, a portion right here, and you would know how much of food it will drop once you try it, right? So there's actually a level of how much you can put in and how much the maximum amount of food you can put in. For me, actually, just a tip on this one, I've actually used this for quite some time. I only put in minimum amount of food. The reason being is that the food can actually get rotten inside if you put too much, because the food will not you won't be able to feed those food in a certain time, and once it doesn't get eaten or get fed to your fish, what happens is that it rots and it damages your fish food. So for me, I put in only minimum amount of fish food right here, so it will last for about 3 to 4 days, and that's good enough for me. So once we've set that right here, set the level, So I will just set it for 1, level 1, right? So we can now proceed to putting fish food on this container. For the sake of example, I'll be using this Hulk's Supreme. No, this is Hulk's Gold Supreme 60. So this is a premium type of goldfish fish food right here, and we're going to put it inside our food container. We're going to install this later. So once you've opened that up, we can actually put in the fish food right here. Okay, as I've said, just small amount so that it won't go bad. It won't go bad. So I think that's enough, and we're going to cover it. Put on the cover. So by the way, there's an indicator here. It's the up or the top portion, so you won't get confused of putting back the cover. Okay, so now that's done. So here we have a minimum level. It's very small, but that's okay. So we can now attach it at the back of our timer right here, right? Okay, that's it. That's how you put it. Okay, so just for example purposes, I'm going to lock it to level 0 so that the food won't come out. So for the sake of example, I'll return it back to level 1 so you can see how much food it can drop. So by the way, this is just an example. So as we try to manually operate the timer right here, I will turn this clockwise, so it will actually rotate like this, and food will simply drop right there. Okay, once the timer actually hits the trigger to feed for the auto feeder, it will rotate the this container so that it can feed your fish. So now that we've finished setting up this the main part of the food timer, we're just going to have to install the clip. Now this clip can be attached either horizontal or diagonal when it comes to an aquarium, but for this instance we're just going to install it just like this right here. So we can now put it at this part right here. So we can actually adjust we can tighten this clip right here so that it won't move once we install the food timer. We are now ready to install the food timer. So there's actually a sort of a hinge right here, so we can slide in the food timer. So once we slide that in, that means that we've already placed the food timer properly. Okay, so just to try it out, I will going to manually rotate this mechanism right here again. Okay, clockwise, so it's going to drop fish food right here. Okay, hope you're seeing that. Okay, so every hour this timer will drop fish food to this aquarium, and which, by the way, you can estimate how much you can drop by adjusting the level. So for this aquarium, it only contains this female Calico Oranda. So I didn't really adjust the level. Like I only use level 1 so that this Oranda won't get overfeed. So I think that's it for this video, and I hope you learned something from it. And by the way, I'd like to shout out for Sir Francis Ayan Gabeka for supporting our vlog. So for those who have subscribed, and we really appreciate it, and we really thank you for supporting us. And for those who haven't subscribed yet, you can actually click the subscribe button below for more updates on our videos. So I think that's it. So happy fish keeping.